Most indie devs think loyalty starts at launch, but it doesn't. By the time your Steam page goes live, players have already decided whether they care about you or not. Data from Steam shows that thousands of games release each year, and the majority sell under 1,000 copies. Visibility tools help, but visibility without attachment fades fast. The devs who build loyal audiences early do one thing differently. They tell a consistent, honest story about their journey while they build. This isn't about being dramatic, it's about being strategic. If you understand how storytelling shapes perception, you can build demand before your trailer drops. Most devlogs read like patch notes. They focus on features, fixes, and screenshots. That content feels productive, but it rarely builds loyalty. Research in marketing psychology shows that people attach to narratives, not feature lists. Narrative transportation theory suggests that when people follow a story over time, their emotional investment increases and their resistance to persuasion drops. Indie devs often assume that the product should speak for itself. That assumption made sense 10 years ago maybe, when Steam had less competition. Today, over 10,000 titles release. The average players cannot evaluate everything. They filter based on familiarity and trust. Trust doesn't come from polish alone. It comes from transparency and consistency. Platforms like Kickstarter show this. Campaigns that update backers with personal progress reports and behind-the-scenes context maintain stronger engagement than those that only post milestones announcements. Backers want to feel somewhat involved. Another issue is tone. Many devlogs adopt more of a corporate voice because devs think professionalism equals credibility. But indie success stories show that personality drives retention. When the players feel like they know the developer, they are more forgiving of delays and more likely to evangelize the project itself. This matters because Steam's algorithm rewards external traffic and wishlist velocity. If your audience feels connected to your progress, they don't just click once. They share, comment, and return again and again and again. And that behavior compounds. Another thing is, most devs treat marketing as promotion. The smarter approach is to treat it like it's documentation. Your journey is not, filler content between milestones. It is a structure that keeps people paying attention. When players follow your decision-making progress, your setbacks, and your design philosophy, they form a mental model of your project. That familiarity increases perceived value. Instead of asking, how do I promote this feature, ask, what is the ongoing story of this project? A devlog isn't an update feed. It's a growing narrative with stakes, constraints, and progress. When people understand what you are trying to achieve and why it matters to you, they align with that direction. Loyalty grows when players feel they are part of something in motion. To start doing this, let's define your core narrative. Write one clear paragraph explaining why you're building this game, what problem it solves for players, and what makes it personally, meaningful to you. This becomes your anchor. Every update should connect back to that reason. Second, structure your devlogs around decisions, not just results. Instead of saying we added a new combat system, explain why the old one failed and what trade-offs that you made along the way. Decision transparency builds credibility because it shows competence and intent. Third is maintain a consistent tone. Pick a voice that reflects your personality and just stick to it. If you're analytical, just lean into that. If you're blunt, stay blunt. Consistency builds familiarity. Familiarity builds trust. Fourth, create participation points. Ask for input on small decisions. Share early builds. Highlight community suggestions that influence development. Behavioral research shows that when people contribute effort to something, they value it more. Even small interactions increase attachment. And finally, connect your story to key conversion moments. Before a Steam page launch, remind your audience how far the project has come. When you open wish lists, frame it as the next step in a shared process. This aligns your narrative arc with your sales milestones. And always remember this part. Attention is temporary. Attachment is durable. You can buy visibility, but you cannot buy loyalty. Ads, festivals, and algorithms boosts create spikes. A documented journey creates continuity. When players follow your process over months or years, they develop context around your work. Context makes your launch feels like a milestone instead of another product drop. The devs who win long term are not always the most technically advanced. They're the ones who turn development into a public narrative with direction and consistency. The question isn't whether storytelling works. The data across crowdfunding, community marketing, and behavioral psychology already supports it. The question is whether you're willing to treat your journey as seriously as your mechanics.